Why beauty matters is not a question most people take seriously. We've kind of been trained to think that beauty is superficial, frivolous, and maybe even a little vain. Caring about how things look feels like it shouldn't be a priority when there are real problems to solve in the world. But what if that entire framework is wrong? What if beauty matters because it's one of only two forces powerful enough to actually move the human heart? In today's episode, I'm going to share Jamie Winship's teaching about suffering and beauty as the only two catalysts for transformation. You'll hear how God used beauty to speak identity to me in a way that moved my heart more than any rule or obligation ever could. And I'll show you why this explains everything about why certain approaches to style actually work while others leave you feeling stuck. So, Jamie Winship spent decades working in some of the world's most dangerous conflict zones, including the Middle East, helping people discover their true identity in God. His work focuses on helping people move from fear-based false identities to living out of their God-given true identity. He's the author of the book Living Fearless and teaches extensively on identity, fear, and transformation. One of the less common teachings that I've heard from him is that only suffering and beauty can move the human heart. These two extremes are catalysts for transformation and spiritual movement in a person's life. Suffering is the force of breaking and stripping away. It moves the heart by forcing a person to confront their reality, surrender their self-reliance, and seek a deeper truth or source of comfort. It creates the space for change through difficulty. Beauty is the force of invitation and creation. It moves the heart by drawing a person toward hope, joy, and the recognition of something transcendent. It inspires the desire to step into something more beautiful than their current existence, often connected to discovering their true identity. These are not theoretical concepts. They're the only two forces that actually create movement in the human heart. Most people think beauty is superficial. We've absorbed cultural messages that caring about beauty is shallow, vain, and self-indulgent, especially for women who are trying to make meaningful contributions in the world. Focusing on appearance can feel like a distraction from what really matters. I remember yeah, growing up, getting the idea that smart women didn't think about what they looked like. But here's what Jamie Winship's teaching reveals. Beauty matters because of the possibility of impact on the human heart. So it's not frivolous, it's profound, it's spiritual, it has the power to draw you toward your true identity in ways that rules and obligations never can. It Beauty is a facet of creation, the universe, God, whatever, however you like to think about that in your own spiritual uh, way of thinking about things. Um, So the first time I experienced small group listening prayer, I had already read Jamie Winship's book, Living Fearless, and I had started looking to God for specific identity messaging. That night, we were just doing a group prayer training, and we were in threes with the same gender. And one of my prayer partners saw goats. as she was praying for me. Then she asked God if there was something else, and she saw goat yoga. Then the garbage eating goat in downtown Spokane. So her impression was all these playful goats, and neither of us had any idea what this was about. A few weeks later, I received the World Vision catalog, and it had felt goat ornaments on the cover. They were adorable. And then when I turned to the inside, I found the names of the goats, beloved and playful. I knew immediately and teared up. It was an identity statement about me. I think almost everyone who receives a specific identity from God gets beloved as one of the first things. It's like a universal starting point, which kind of makes sense. It's a foundational truth that God loves you. I think even people who don't believe in God would almost like resonate with the idea that if there were a God, he would love everyone. But playful, that was specifically for me. And so I knew in my inner being when I saw the names of the goats that the message was one of identity for me. And that place in me where I knew that, that's the same place that my vision of beauty exists. And that is a place that only God and I have access to. So now think about most of the style advice you've encountered. It's just rules. Wear this silhouette because of your body type. Choose these colors because of your season. Follow these guidelines because they're flattering. Avoid these styles because they're not appropriate for your age or your shape or your lifestyle. But rules create obligation. Do this because you should. Wear that because it's flattering. But obligation doesn't really move the heart. It might create temporary compliance, but it doesn't create transformation. It doesn't draw you closer to what's actually true for you. This is why people can learn their color season, understand their body type, know all the rules, and still buy things that don't work for them, not know what to do when they open their closet. So the approach that I use works differently. It starts with understanding your personality, your cognitive functions, how you're actually wired. Then it connects to understanding visual expression through beauty. So the beauty that you are uniquely attracted to draws you, it invites you, it connects to your heart and moves you towards your true identity. The Myers-Briggs Key to Signature Style Video Masterclass explains how understanding your type at the cognitive function level is different from the traditional corporate and university understanding of Myers-Briggs. It shows you why those four letters are actually a code and what that code unlocks about how you're uniquely designed. And you can find the link for that in the show description or at my website, signaturestylesystems.com. So here's why beauty matters beyond just looking good. If you are a woman who has contributions to make in the world, you need to be seen for who you actually are. Your contributions may not be happening because people don't see the real you. Beauty isn't a distraction from your contribution. It's one of the forces that can move your heart towards showing up authentically and help other people see you so your contributions can actually happen. Most people think beauty is superficial, but actually, it's one of the two forces that can move the human heart. And that's why invitation through beauty works where rule-based style systems fail. This is exactly what the congruence code offers. It's not a set of rules to follow. It's an invitation to discover how you're uniquely designed. You get that personality profiling conversation. You receive your personality style blueprint. That gives you the building blocks for your signature style. And then you get a seasonal energy digital palette chosen collaboratively based on how you experience yourself. You walk away with tools that invite you toward beauty and towards your authentic visual identity, not rules that obligate you to follow somebody else's idea. And here's something simple you can do this week to integrate these principles into your wardrobe. Set aside 15 minutes or however long you have to journal about beauty. Think back to a time when something beautiful moved your heart. And it could be visually beautiful, or it could just be like a beautiful attitude or a beautiful action. Not something you thought you should appreciate, but something that genuinely touched your heart. What was it? How did it make you feel? What did it invite you toward? Then consider, where have you dismissed beauty as superficial in your own life? What might shift for you if you recognize beauty as a profound spiritual force rather than a frivolous distraction? Thanks for being here for the Signature Style Systems podcast. Have fun being you, and I will meet you back here again real soon.